Good morning. Good morning, afternoon, evening. It's beautiful to see you. Well, welcome, all of you. Thanks for joining our call today. And instead of starting with a meditation, I wanted to introduce an inquiry to sit with, and more of a meditative inquiry, which I think is appropriate given that we're looking at chapters 6 and 7. Six really introducing or reintroducing to many of you the meditative inquiry protocol that I use, and 7 looking into the theme of the false ground. And so we're going to combine the two. We're going to do a meditative inquiry on our false ground, if such exists. Maybe that's all dissolved for you, in which you enjoy the true groundless ground, but we'll do an inquiry today around that. So I just wanted to make a few preliminary comments by way of review, both about meditative inquiry and about the false ground, and then we'll sit together with a question and open it up. So many of you are familiar with the particular protocol, if you will, of meditative inquiry that I've developed over many years. And for some of you, it's new, or maybe you're familiar having read about it but not practiced it. And any kind of meditative inquiry really is based on the presumption that we want to know what's true. And the truth is, we're very ambivalent creatures, you know. There's a yes and a no, almost always. Something in us which is the truth, loves the truth. Not the truth of an ideology, not the truth of a belief or a dogma, but the truth of our being. And our love of the truth comes from that, from the depths of our heart, from the depths of our being. And our conditioned body-mind is very resistant to discovering that, because it means letting go of everything that we think is true. And means letting go of our false ground, really. So the first question, the most important question, this is for you, we're not going to sit with it as a group, but is do I really want to know the truth? Do I really want to know the truth? Do I really want to know what's true? And to sit with that question and kind of notice what comes up, both in terms of a very genuine response, a love or devotion of the truth, and our ambivalence or reluctance or resistance. And to be curious if there is resistance, as there almost always is, and to kind of lean into those areas with affection and curiosity. Because it's very often our resistance is the path in directly to our knowing. It's a very interesting principle. But in terms of the practice of meditative inquiry, I think I've just to review, it's important to first recognize what a core limiting belief may be that we're holding. And usually it can be reduced to a very simple, almost childlike statement of 5 or fewer words. But something that creates really an emotional reaction and somatic contraction, something that's, deeply sensed and felt. And then to let it go and to consult our deepest knowing, which means not going to the mind, but allowing attention to drop down and in and back, and just ask ourselves, what is my deepest knowing? What's the truth? And to let it go, not to, hammer away with the question, but just drop it in gently, and then be quiet and receptive, knowing that a response, and there's no correct answer, but knowing that a intuitive response can kind of bubble up from our depths. It can come as a direct knowing, as a felt sense, as an image, as a word, or some combination of those. And then not to dismiss this, what comes intuitively, what comes spontaneously, to let it in. And the letting in of the knowing is really where the transformation happens. This is where the light of awareness, of unconditioned awareness of our true being begins to infuse the conditioned body mind. And that's where transformation happens. It's a subtle process. It's more of an art. But once we get a feel for it, it's very, very powerful. So that's the method, that little method that I use. And it becomes intuitive once you get a sense of it. You may not even need to go through those various steps. It just becomes a very spontaneous process. And the theme we'll be looking at today is the false ground. And again, to briefly review, I think of our false ground as a kind of core contraction that has both psychological, and that is to say personal psychological factors contributing to it, that often we learn in our family of origin, but also existential ones that we all share, that contribute to a sense of being a limited, separate self. And the subtle somatic dimension of it is a feeling of core contraction, usually along the core of the body, running along the midline. And we can feel it often predominantly in various energy centers, the heart, the gut, the base of the spine, the forehead, the throat, but sometimes as a whole core contraction. And we've organized our life around this. This is the interesting thing. Often we don't feel it until we start to relax, and then we notice this kind of grip. And this grip, this core contraction, we take as our real ground. Like, this is what I stand on. This is who I am. This is who I am, and this is what life is. But it's not true. It's just not true. And so our love of the truth and our willingness to see through untruth is actually the most potent force for unveiling what is true. So that's a very brief summary. But the chapters, for those of you who've read them, and hopefully all of you have, further unpack both this method and this particular theme of the false ground and core contraction. So let's practice a little bit. So I invite you to sit comfortably and close your eyes and take a few slow, deep breaths. And to let your attention settle down and in. And then feeling into the heart area and the space behind your body, relaxing in. And then dropping in the question to yourself, what is the linchpin of my false ground? What is the linchpin? What is the core feeling or belief about myself that keeps me feeling separate from the whole of life? What is the core feeling or belief about myself that keeps the separate sense of self together? And to let the question go. Don't go to your mind for an answer. Don't try to think about it. What is the core feeling and belief that keeps the sense of separate self intact? And just notice what comes to you. And if different separate ideas come or feelings come, just focus on one that feels important, or maybe the most important. And then ask a second question. What is my deepest knowing about this feeling or belief? What is my deepest knowing about this? What's the truth? Then let it go. And just be quiet. And whatever comes, whatever form the knowing takes, just letting it in. Letting yourself know what you know. And notice what happens as you do. What is the linchpin? It's holding the sense of separate self, being a separate self together. Feeling or belief. And what's my deepest knowing about this? What's the truth? So we'll open it up, and Lisa, back to you in terms of a little bit of guidance.
Thanks, John. All right, I see some of you already have your hands up. Thank you. I wanted to remind you also that I'm your technical logistical host for today. John won't be able to track chats, but if you have any questions or technical questions or need help, please send me a message on chat. Yeah, so several of you already have your digital hands up. Wonderful. Because there are so many people signed up for this, if you've already asked a live question, please create space for others today and in the rest of our sessions. We're asking that your either reflection or question is concise so that we can make space for as many people today to ask for a live question. And we'll be focusing on, of course, the inquiry that was just offered, if you like, that was in chapter 7. Or any of the themes from chapters of 6 or 7. And also today and going forward, we'll only take live questions, not questions from the chat, since that offers the most kind of experiential conversation and back and forth. All right, so that's it. And welcome Amanda to come off mute.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, John. Nice to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Um, I think it's more of a reflection than a question, although I
Mm,
can make a question out of it.
mm,
But I was listening to chapter 6, and I think you said all of these core beliefs that could come up for people. And I was just listening, thinking, oh, yes, this is all very familiar. And then you said, I'm not lovable. And I just got this really tight pain, really low down in my pelvis. And I was quite shocked that it was so, I'm just going to lean back a bit,
mhm.
that it was so clear. And I feel really touched by this, what you've just done with the meditation, this idea of the linchpin, because in that meditation, it was the same core belief. And then the feeling of a golden orb in my heart just coming out, not completely. And then this kind of, well, how can that possibly be true? Or that can't possibly be true. And yet it still feels true. And there's something about the linchpin that just, the terror of the linchpin actually unpinning.
Yes.
Okay, I've said it. Yeah.
So just a quick exploration here, Amanda,
Yeah.
which is the golden globe you're feeling is true. And I invite you to let it in more fully, to open to it. Just take a minute and receive the gift. And this is true for everyone who's listening.
Yeah, it's like there's some cloud cover that's gradually moving back.
Starting to clear, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
stay with it another minute. Yeah. Is it okay to shine now? Is it safe to shine now? This is very alive. It's a very dynamic process. So it's an open-ended question and inquiry. It's just like letting this come forward. This is your deepest nature emerging, Amanda. And I would encourage you, you don't need to answer or report or do anything, but just sit with this for the remainder of our meeting and just allow this self-effulgence, this radiance of being.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we'll go to the next person.
Welcome, Stephen.
Oh, John, pleasure to be speaking with you.
Hi, Stephen.
As I was sitting in the inquiry, I'm very familiar. What was coming up is the base of my brain, where there's a contracted, it feels I've tracked it for quite a while. It's one of those early. I'm 73, going to be 74 on Halloween, and at 18 months, I was separated from my father when he physically assaulted me and my mother, and then 3 months later, she died at 22 months, and she came to me. Her older sister adopted me and said, I stood up in the crib and I'm saying, no, go, mom. And she came to my room as she died to say she had to go. So there's like this big outraged no, and closing my eyes. I don't want to see her going. So there's like a main contraction at the base of the skull, like the reptilian.
Mm-hmm.
And it also goes down to the root ground where I can't sit on her lap. I can't be held by her. And so I've had experience. I know myself as this consciousness, but there's such a gulf. It's so old, and dirty dishwater for 70 years. It's been soaking and it's coming off layer by layer. But
It is. It is. Okay. Yes. There's the linchpin. The no.
no effing way. Outrageous, outraged little toddler,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
swallowing that. So God forbid my adopted mom wouldn't leave me too. So I
Yes. Yes.
swallow that rage and help her deal with her grief of her little sister. And
Yeah, and so on, right? So a primal abandonment, right? And distrust and outrage, right?
shame that it's my fault. Because I was coming into my anger saying no as a toddler, and
Yeah.
then everything fell apart.
Okay. What is your deepest knowing about this? Don't think about it.
It's it's like a it's in my throat. It's like either throwing up or just I can't swallow it. When I can't swallow it, I can't accept it. And there's a fear of nausea, and it's just
I,
it's just an old, old
I can't accept it. It's too much,
right.
right? What's the truth now? Right now. What's the truth?
It's an uncomfortable thickness in my throat.
I'm with you, okay?
And there's this paradise lost angelic fairyland all around me that is like gray curtains hiding it, like peekaboo. It's so close and yet
It's
unreachable.
it's right here. That's the knowing. It's right here, isn't it? Despite the curtains, right? Despite the veils, it's right here. Let's just stay with it a little more. Just stay with like, what's the truth? What's my deepest knowing? And just let it in. Whatever layers of this come forward.
I'm feeling more of a whole body defiance. Like I'm standing my ground down to my toes saying no.
Okay, you're standing your false ground. Yes.
I'm more fully standing my false ground.
No,
No effing way, baby.
no, absolutely not. Yeah,
How dare you? God, life, how dare you?
yeah, yeah. You're laughing, but there's outrage here, isn't there? There's really, really profound.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's a little lighter when I feel it in my whole body instead of just in the back of my skull.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
little more diffuse.
Yeah. Exactly. We'll stay with it a little more. We don't have.
Ah!
Yeah. Fully inhabiting the no. There. Good. The rage. Now the grief. Hmm. Yeah. Good. Good. It's the next wave. Profound loss. Profound grief. Yeah.
And it's not fair. It's like it's unfixable, and yet I can sense that it's okay, and I don't want to accept the okay. It's like, how dare you make it okay? What the F? Oh,
Good. Keep breathing.
oh,
Just stay with this.
mm.
There's an okayness there, and there's a refusal of the okayness.
I'm feeling hope. Oh,
The light's coming in.
it's like I'm an angry bastard and I don't want to be an angry bastard. It's like I don't want to be angry down to my toes like my World War II dads and uncles that were mean. Ugh,
No, you don't.
ugh, 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 ugh,
We'll just go one more minute.
ugh. Huh. It feels significantly digested, still there, but like a whole new transparency to it.
Yes, it's being felt and seen through. So stay with this, okay? Just trust yourself here. Trust this opening that's coming now, like the truth now. Beautiful. Thank you for your honesty and vulnerability.
Thank you.
Okay, Lisa.
Welcome, Walter.
Yeah, hi, John.
Hey, Walter.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah,
Likewise.
yeah, thank you so much. So my question is around core beliefs, limiting beliefs, and I've been aware of core beliefs, about three of them. The first two I've worked on. The first one is I'm all alone, and the other is I'm not treated fairly. And I have sat with those and worked with those, yeah. But I'm feeling now a sense of I'm unworthy, and it's really centered on the inquiries. And also I do a meditative practice, usually guided, but sometimes alone. But my experience, I think there's a resistance there. There's a fear I have.
There is. That's accurate.
Yeah.
Subtle, but palpable. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it is subtle. Yeah.
And I'm afraid that.
Yeah.
What are you afraid of?
Well, my mind comes in. My thoughts come in when I do inquiry. My mind and even yeah, mind's very active, and I think that maybe that's the resistance. What am I afraid
Yeah.
of?
Yeah. Just pose the question, let it go, be quiet. Let this one bubble up from the depths, Walter. Mhm.
I feel like I'm grasping.
No, well, you may be, your mind may be, but you're also settling,
Okay.
and something is emerging for you. It may not come as a thought. It may come as not as a word rather, but as an image or just a knowing. A felt sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
What comes?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm all okay.
I'm not okay.
I,
I'm afraid to discover that I'm not okay.
yeah.
Afraid that I'm really not okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Good to be in touch with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And then the question, what's my deepest knowing about this? What's the truth? No thinking. What comes?
I feel I'm still resisting.
Sorry, say again.
I feel I'm still resisting.
Ah, well, I do sense a knowing
Yeah.
emerging here. And it
I did
almost,
feel a little bit earlier, actually.
mm-hmm. And it's almost like an upwelling from the ground. That
Yeah.
was my sense sitting with you. It's very subtle. I think this is why, this is the kind of third belief and feeling that you're exploring. It's subtle, but it is a holding here. And I'm sensing something emergent, some opening, upwelling from your depths, from the ground, really.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
groundswell of knowing.
Yeah. I've needed that. I've yeah, I can sense it subtly too. But I've needed the help, I think.
Hmm. This one is a hard one to attune with because of its subtlety and
Yeah.
depth. But you're
Yeah.
right to attune with this.
Yeah.
There's a not okayness, some belief and feeling there that's primal, and
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and that has formed a kind of ground for
Yeah.
you, which is not true.
Yeah.
So now that you have a sense of this,
Yeah.
continue to sit. This will be quiet, probably not dramatic, but this will
Yeah.
be a quiet kind of
Yeah.
softening and release
Yeah.
here.
Well,
Okay?
yeah. It doesn't have to be
No,
dramatic.
no fireworks, no drama.
No.
This
It's
is
for an
Yeah.
event. Hey, how's it going?
just a quiet,
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. One
release.
o'clock. Okay. Thank you.
Someone
Yeah.
needs to mute themselves.
Thank you.
Whoever V is needs to mute themselves.
Yeah.
So Walter, speak again so we can see your.
Yeah. So, right. I think I've been looking for something more dramatic,
Mm-mm.
and yet sometimes that subtle knowing it is there.
It's there.
Yeah.
It is. I feel it.
Yeah.
And you know that I feel it, right? So
Yeah.
that helps you trust it. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, it's here,
Yeah.
and it has its transformative power.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. Yeah. Thank you, John.
Beautiful. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Laura, welcome.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. Hi, John.
Hi, Laura.
Hi. I appreciate when we do this work. Yeah, and I think what this is, you've heard me say similar things, that there's something that with the false ground of self is like, I'm not giving up self until I feel fully seen here. And then it feels like that can happen. And when we were together in California, I got to have this fun birth celebration for myself, and that was really lovely. And so this feels somewhat similar of like just really wanting, like it feels like the light or the glow that's in me to get to be felt and reflected, feeling that glow from you all, and then like just resting in that glow, and that there was this imagery this time of the scene in The Lion King where the baby lion is born and everybody celebrates baby lion and we all come together, and I feel like that's what's real, is that there's this moment of like all the allness, mutual enjoyment of what has just been birthed. Yeah. And then the imagery happens that as soon as there's that sense of full, like it feels like full realization or full
Recognition.
Yeah, but that it's mutual, it's in all directions, that's that union. And then there's like then that baby just dissolves into it, I see the celebration happening of baby after baby, all being fully loved and held, and then poof, and then they're just the unity or the fullness
The
or
oneness, yes.
yeah. Yeah, and I also notice as I speak that I come out to you so much, and that what I really want is for you all to come to the softness that's here, that it doesn't have to come out,
To
that
be
it can
met
just
where
be
you are.
received.
That's
Yeah.
right. To be met where you are.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can stay and still feel my belly, and not reach out too far.
Not leave yourself, actually.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, leave yourself to be seen.
Yeah. And be so soft, like not have to put on anything else besides just staying with the softness.
So can you accept that that's actually happening right now?
I'm gonna put y'all on gallery.
Put everyone on gallery. I'll do that as well.
Do it again.
For a second. And just receive this, Laura. Let yourself be seen. Not leaving yourself, being at home, being the beautiful lioness cub. Let yourself receive in your beauty, in your radiance. And now, see yourself. Because ultimately, this is self-recognition. We can feel it from others, we can appreciate it, and then we turn this towards our own self-seeing. A recognition of our own completeness, inherent completeness, wholeness. And this is an inward seeing. So, what do you experience?
Yeah, I feel a different wholeness or aliveness also from the belly.
Mm-hmm.
And it also sort of feels like there's more of a, like a mantle or a something that comes from behind that feels
Yes.
like a something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The sense of wholeness is often sensed and intuited as a behind space. That we actually surrender into and as.
Yeah, I appreciate your continued support. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Yeah.
Um,
So who's next?
Laura? Go
Hi,
ahead.
John.
Yeah.
Um,
Hi, Laura.
Hi. When we talked last was in Mount Madonna,
Mm-hmm.
and um, you said, "Let me cut to the quick," and it was great. You know, your core limiting belief is you're only your body. And after a retreat, I definitely felt more settled. And then, but I'm beginning to feel that actually it's not so much anxiety at the moment, but the beginning of a striving, like, oh, I should be working out more. I should be, trying to stay healthy, like that need for that.
Yeah.
And in the inquiry right now, what seemed really true is when I'm more open, I'm happier. When I'm less anxious, I'm happier. When I'm less striving, I'm happier.
Yes, it is true.
But the idea that it's like, and I want, but I don't believe in some higher power, in something outside me, right? It doesn't seem true to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't need to believe that.
But then I don't know where to go with, I'm not just my body.
Ah,
So
well,
that's
what is outside the boundary of your body?
so okay, so maybe this is where you're going, maybe not. There's no question that my awareness is unbounded.
Ah, that is where I'm going.
Okay, good. So yes, I'm aware of this rate thing. I sort of love playing with the no head
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
image.
Douglas Harding. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's this interesting question of what's really inside and what's really
that's
outside.
a very interesting question.
So those are all good. And when I'm dead, I'm dead. Like,
When your body is dead, it's dead.
yes,
But you think you're your body,
exactly.
and that's your core limiting belief. And is it true? Is it true that you are just your body, only your body?
Well, so this is a different way to ask the question, maybe is, does the awareness come from the body or does the body come from the awareness? And I believe the awareness comes from the body. So maybe that's where I get stuck.
Yes, it is.
But how do I believe what I don't believe? I mean, the problem is that's what I believe, right? I mean,
Well, you question your belief. So it would be interesting to get to an I don't know here for you. Like there's a presumption, and this is a scientific materialist paradigm, that awareness comes from the body, that consciousness is generated by matter,
correct.
right? And so you're in that paradigm.
I mean, I'm questioning enough to at least ask you about it, but I am 2 feet in it.
So this is not a question for ordinary mind, because ordinary mind that's educated within the scientific paradigm will say, yes, absolutely. Here's the Journal of Neurophysiology, right? And here's another one, and here's the textbook, and so on. But this is really a question for your inner knowing, not your belief system. So I just want to leave you with a question, right?
Okay.
To sit with in a very innocent way. Do I really know this is true? Do I really know that this awareness comes from just this body and will end when this body ends?
All right.
Do I really know this? Hmm? Not handed down knowledge, right? But your direct knowing. And this is a particularly, I would say, compelling belief. And certainly there's tremendous consensual reality supporting it, which is why people are so terrified, as they begin to lose capacity and age. The issues that you were bringing up at Mount Madonna and that are resurfacing again. Because there is this compelling conviction, I am just this body. And when the body goes, that's it. I'll be annihilated. And I believed this once also, though I no longer do. But it takes a very deep intuitive investigation here. So I would just continue to sit with your direct knowing here.
Okay.
No easy answers.
Uh,
Hmm.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And I wanted to really thank you and again for all you've brought me.
You're very welcome. Okay.
Welcome, Maureen.
Hi.
Hello. Speak up a little more, and we'll have your
Okay.
image on the screen.
Maybe.
There we are. Hi, Maureen. You're muted. Now you're on. Okay.
I'm on. Can you
You're,
hear me?
yeah, you can. If you could speak up a little bit or turn up your volume, it would be helpful.
Sorry, now.
Maybe just speak a little louder or lean in a little closer.
Okay. Is that any better?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
that's
better.
better.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know,
Oh,
or even if what my question exactly is. So I have well, a core belief, or it's a thing that comes up over and over again, which is I don't know enough.
uh-huh.
I don't know enough. So a lot of my life is spent learning things.
Compensating for that, yes.
I don't know enough. So it's had some benefits, but just recently, I it's not really troublesome when it's just I don't know something about something I want to study.
Mm-hmm.
But it's troublesome when as I say I recently had an interaction with my daughter where she's having an argument with me and very difficult, and I get the sense I ask her for more information and she doesn't give me any, and then I get the sense I don't know enough.
And I'm wondering, is it I don't know enough or I am not enough? I'm not enough. Take a minute.
Well, she's certainly in this particular incidents more or less accusing me of not being enough.
Okay.
But my sense is more I just space out. I'm gone.
Yeah, you dissociate.
And I'm gone, and then there's then I just have a feeling of trying to grasp.
Yeah, you're up here.
I'm up here.
Yeah. So if you bring I'm gonna focus a little bit. If you bring your attention, because you had your hand on your heart just a minute ago,
That's because I'm afraid of you. So
and here you are nonetheless, right? And and it's understandable. I mean, we haven't talked before, I don't think, have we?
no.
No, first time. Yeah, and of course, and there's a of course group listening in. But if you put your hand on your heart and just kind of tune in to what to a sense of self, and if you ask yourself, am I enough just as I am? What comes to you?
Just a lot of activation and fear. It's kind of like fear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um,
Mm-hmm.
and I suppose there's definitely not as the answer.
Yeah. So I think, just for the sake of time, because we don't have much of it, I think you're working with the belief that I'm not enough. And it takes a particular form. I don't know enough. It can take different forms. It could be I'm not, powerful enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not charming enough. I'm not gracious enough. I'm not something enough. But when you take away the qualifier, it just, at the core, it's I'm not enough. And like there's something lacking here.
Yes.
Some deficiency. I'm lacking. I'm not enough. This is the most common core belief. Something's wrong with me, I'm not enough, or both, or some mixture of those. So of course there's some resistance, to actually recognizing that this belief is at work, because we actually secretly believe it and we don't want to acknowledge it. We don't want to acknowledge, oh, that's true, that's how I really feel and think about myself. But in our love of the truth, we're willing to investigate. It's like, okay, what am I holding on to here? Oh yeah, I really do feel like I'm not enough, or I'm unlovable, or we've heard of a few variations, and with people who've been sharing. So we let ourselves acknowledge, that's step one. Okay, this is what's been running the show since I've been a little girl or boy. Usually, sometimes it's in adolescence these form, but usually in childhood. I felt this way my whole life, for as long as I can think and feel. I'm not enough, not enough. We notice, the emotions that come. We notice how the body responds. Usually there's a charge, resistance or contraction or some kind of emotion, all of that. It's like, okay, we're close to the pay dirt here, Now what's interesting is we've organized our life around this belief, sometimes unknowingly. We compensate by trying to demonstrate otherwise, but we're very sensitive to this being pointed out by our daughter or by friends, apparently pointed out, because of course we are limited in, many ways. And so it's easy to feel, yes, there's the evidence, I'm not enough. But the next step then is to begin to question it very innocently. Like, okay, I'm holding this. This is painful, it's constrictive, it's limiting, it affects everything in my life, right? Is it true? I'd really like to know. Not with the mind figuring it out, because the mind will give yeses and nos. It will look for evidence, pro and con, but more from a heartfelt understanding. This is where the art of this inquiry comes. It's like, okay, I'm not going to listen to this because I know I've run that program a number of times. But if I just get quiet and just quietly listen to a deeper knowing, no right answer, no way it has to come, but so maybe a felt sense, maybe an image, maybe an intuitive sense of what's true or not. I'll begin to investigate. That's my invitation to you.
Yeah.
Innocently, openly, begin to, and then let in what starts coming to you, as you've seen some people have been doing today.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did get to a kind of next step, but it's another version of I'm not enough. But I'm really convinced of this one, so it's, I'm really convinced that I can't feel what, say my daughter is feeling. I'm really convinced of that. And that
Well,
is true. I can't.
that is true. Sometimes we can't feel what other people are feeling.
Yes.
But does that mean that you're not enough?
Yes.
Right. We're always gathering evidence,
Yes.
to support the underlying assumption that we have. And then we start seeing that we're doing that. That's what the mind does. This is a way, strangely enough, we're very attached to our self-image, even when it's very negative. Why? Because it's familiar. It's like familiar ground. Okay, I know this unhappy place. I'm convinced this is true. But it's all this is on the level of self-construct, self-image, and it's not the deepest truth of who we are. And it keeps us closed, a very closed system, and not open to the wholeness of life and to the natural, spontaneous aliveness that's in connection that's available. So I invite you to keep exploring with this, okay?
Okay.
And I appreciate your courage coming forward for the first time. Nice to meet you, Maureen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sue Lily, welcome.
Hi, John.
Hi, Sue Lily.
Hi, John.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Um, what I got in touch with in the meditation is that there's safety. There's a sense of safety for me in being finite, limited, separate. And
Apparent safety, I would call it, but go ahead.
apparent safety, control, sense of control.
Mm-hmm. Some illusion of control, yes.
Right. I know it's an illusion. And it came up that there's this fear of letting go of that.
Yes.
And as a young child, I felt like I was very invaded by my mother, like she depended on me to take care of her emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
And at 7, something happened that I felt like I cannot trust the adults in my life to protect me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to be self-contained.
Mm-hmm. Probably a good decision, yeah.
And I just lived from then on.
There it is. Your self-world view kind of coalesced. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did. And also, I feel like over the years, I've just come so far from that too.
It's
like
true.
now I feel very trusting of myself, of life in many ways.
In many ways, but not fully.
But not fully.
Yes.
And so every statement I came to today, I kept saying, is that true? Is that true? So I guess that's where I am. I'm afraid of letting go of that sense of safety.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you're very close to a big opening, by the way.
Yeah. 20 some years ago, I experienced this flame in my heart, this flame of reality in my heart.
Yeah.
And then I didn't experience it until last week. and I realized it's always been here again.
Back again. Here it is. Right.
Here it is, my awareness of it.
That's right. Beautiful.
And that's why I'm holding my heart, because I just want to protect that. Yeah.
Well, it was wise to protect it when you were a little girl.
Yeah.
It doesn't need protection anymore. Does this flame in the core of your being, in the core of your heart, need to be protected?
It's protecting me. That's how I feel. It's protecting me.
There's the truth. Let it in.
Yeah, it's protecting me.
This is protecting me. Let this in, Sue Lily.
And it's always here. It's always been here.
Yeah.
And now it's in my awareness.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I'm so grateful.
I invite you to give yourself to this fully, this knowing, this flame of knowing, this flame of love.
Yeah.
It's totally trustworthy.
It's what's real.
It's what's real. It's time. It's like the child, the 7-year-old, she can relax now. There's no danger of invasion, no danger of loss of self here. No need to defend, no need to grasp. It's safe to let go into and as this.
And so then I don't need to continue to see myself as a separate, limited self.
No, you don't.
Because this isn't separate and limited.
It is not.
Yeah. And that's who I really am.
It is. It's who you are, really. It's who we all are, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yes. When I had that experience, I knew it was true for everyone.
That's it. It's universal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Vivian, welcome. Let me help. I'll ask you to unmute.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, John.
Hi, Vivian.
Hi. There's a belief that it's not safe to be here in this body.
Yes.
And there is a remembrance of a very early pre-verbal experience. And when I let is this what's my deepest knowing float, there is a sense that it's not true and a level of softening. But there's still some resistance and gripping there.
Okay. Shall we sit with it for a minute?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like I can feel, my whole system is getting quite fearful because it doesn't want to be exposed.
There are layers in this process, right? It takes time. There's, the grasping sometimes it happens suddenly, but often it's incremental, that forming. And so the softening, the releasing often comes in layers as well. And that kind of pre-verbal experience in memory usually most of the time is relational, some violation, of trust and so the healing often is facilitated by an attuned, open connection, right?
Yeah. And it was a level of harm, and actually the person that it relates to is someone that I've worked through, and we're in a very different space.
Good.
Now, so
Okay.
that it feels like there's been a lot of layers,
Yeah.
and it feels quite subtle.
Yeah.
And I can really sense a sense of deepening, and I can feel very in my heart and a great depth.
Beautiful. Yes.
And yet there is, as I said, I wanted to speak of this today because it hides.
It does. It's underground, it's not in the heart area, it's much lower.
It's in the solar plexus predominantly.
And below, solar plexus and base of the spine.
Thank you.
This is the kind of unconscious control mechanism, trying to keep things safe, right? Not wanting and not wanting to be exposed either. So here we are.
Yeah, as you say those words, I mean, not when you reflect back, not wanting to be exposed. Yeah, that's, I can even feel heat.
Exactly. Okay. So just a few breaths and settling in and just attuning with your knowing, Vivian, and a further letting in of your knowing. Just breathing, just like letting in the knowing is a intuitive process, but the breath can help. You're just almost like breathing in our deeper knowing, sensing on a subtle level. And just noticing what happens. No efforting, just allowing.
It's helpful that you mentioned the breath, because that feels like there's the part of the resistance is the letting in is being resisted. So to work and be with the breath is very helpful.
Good. Yeah, just a gentle, slow, deep breath. Sometimes we can put our hand on the area of the body that needs support. That also anchors our attention.
Yeah, and now you mentioned it, I'm feeling it lower down.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, that my hands want to be on the belly, not on the heart.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So we're dropping down from emotional to instinctual levels of letting in our deepest knowing. No efforting, just noticing.
There's a sense of, I'm very aware of the whole of me, a sense of wholeness.
Yes, that's right. Beautiful. That's really the deepest truth. And so we let that in, we attune with the wholeness. From that deepest knowing, from that sense of wholeness, we welcome in our conditioned body-mind. Any place of holding, resistance, reaction, contraction, and we just let them be there together. This is where the alchemy happens, the spontaneous transformation. No need to
Just before you spoke those words, there was a real sense of a sort of a dissipation of the mind, a real sense of,
that's right.
Yeah.
Good, a relaxation. Tension drops down. We'll just go one more minute.
And a feeling of holding that little one.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, as if she's becoming part of the whole again.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what's happening. Yeah, beautiful. So you're in a deep process here, Vivian, and just stay with it, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, just take a few more minutes and just quietly be with it. It's a very, very beautiful, natural unfolding that's happening. Okay?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We'll go with one more person.
Oh, welcome, Peter.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Peter.
Hi, John. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a little nervous and excited to speak with you and in front of this whole group.
Whole group of loving people.
Loving people, yes. I have goosebumps right now because to be with a group like this of such depth and tenderness is beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
It feels like home.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's deeply moving. Yeah.
So I've had a recent relationship loss, an important romantic relationship. And whenever that has happened in my life, not only do I get very sad, which I tend to be, I kind of play around the margins of depression and into depression throughout my life. I really work with that, but that's common for me. With the loss, I definitely get into deep struggling and sadness, which is where I've been of late.
Okay.
And it's very hard for me to get out of my head at these times and into my body fully. When I can, and I did this morning in bed, I woke up very early, I worked with myself, I settled, and I just felt that opening, that a sense of ease.
Good.
But it's hard to come by these days. When I did the inquiry this morning with you all, I came to, I'm not good and I will always be alone.
Mm-hmm.
Very core beliefs.
Yeah.
The I will always be alone is very profound.
Yeah.
I have great friends, et cetera, but it's a core belief. Always.
Mm-hmm.
And with this relationship ending, it just, it amplifies that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When I sat with that, what came up, surprisingly, was a woman 40 years ago or more in Minneapolis in her backyard in blue Levi's. I've always loved blue Levi's. I wore them as a kid. I wear them today. I saw blue Levi's, and I saw this woman named Bonnie, who I really loved, and it didn't go anywhere very far. But I loved her, and I saw that this morning, and my heart just opened.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped out of my head, and I just felt my heart, and this, I guess, yearning. This yearning,
yes. A deep yearning. A deep yearning.
Yeah.
So
I try to get rid of the yearning. It doesn't work.
No, don't get rid. You can't get rid of the yearning, but there is a secret here to work with yearning, and we have just 2 minutes, so I'll just pass it along to you, which is you're right to bring attention to the heart area. This is where attention is needed. So whatever helps you get out of your mind and down into your heart, and putting your hands over your heart can help focus attention there, and inviting breath here. But your yearning is not, of course, your yearning is to be love itself. To be love itself. In other words, to come home to who you are fundamentally as loving awareness. So the yearning is a clue. What the yearning tends to go outward towards people, right? And which is understandable and natural. But in terms of a spiritual inquiry, follow the sense of yearning in to the core of the heart and beyond. Like, just take it as a kind of perfume to follow back to its source of love itself, which is in the core of your being. And when you discover that, there is no aloneness anymore, because this is what we all are, loving awareness.
Yes, and I have had experiences of unity and of love, that this love of which you speak, that, in the moment transformed everything. And in one of your books, you use the word snap back, which fits.
Snapback phenomena, yes.
I've been on retreats where I'm just wide open and there's so much clarity and love. And then 10 minutes later, I'm being critical of other people.
Well, so I'll address that quickly, and then we'll need to end. Because this phenomena of opening and then closing suddenly, sudden contraction, snapback, is extremely common. And the reason that it happens is because we have continuing core limiting beliefs and feelings about ourselves that have not been digested. So the system is returning to those aspects of the psyche that actually need attention. So it's not a mistake or a failure. It's actually a very natural process to invite, how am I unenlightening myself here? And one of the ways you're doing this, Peter, is believing that you are all alone, that you're not good and that you're all alone. So with the inquiry, this is like bringing that quality of loving attention to these knots or veils, and just being very innocent in your investigation and your inquiry. The aloneness itself is a portal. Like, don't refuse the aloneness. Don't refuse the yearning. Take it as an entry point to go deeper. And what you will discover in your yearning, in your aloneness, is this which you know already to be true. Okay? And it's just like opening that channel between more and more clearly, consciously, to access this. If we had more time, we could develop this experientially, but those are the principles to work with.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so let me put the view on gallery, time flies by, doesn't it? It goes very quickly. And it's so beautiful, isn't it? This honesty and vulnerability and these openings. It's very, very touching and inspiring. So as always, I feel very touched to, explore this with you and discover, in our own unique way, our own unique pathways and investigation, the truth of who we are. So thank you. So in a moment, I'll turn it over to you, Lisa, to make a few announcements, and then we'll all say goodbye after that. One thing I would ask, it's a favor of each of you, and I think Lisa or I have mentioned this in the past, but if you would be willing to go to any, if you made an online purchase of the audiobook or the physical book, if you'd be willing to go back to that outlet, whatever it may be, Amazon or Indie Books or Sounds True or wherever, and just leave a short review. It could be just, a few sentences. It could be just a few stars, 1 star, you hate the book, 5 stars, you love the book, whatever. And I don't think there are any book haters here, but, I want to leave a range of responses because it's important that's authentic. I would be appreciative. And if you could think about doing that today, maybe after our call, that would be nice. Because the reason why is because these kind of books, and this book in particular, it's all word of mouth, So it's going to be your friends, your family, your colleagues who feel and hear from you, either in person or online. This has genuine value. And that's the point of writing the book, is to share the understanding. It's not to sell books in itself. That's not so interesting to me, but it's actually to share the understanding. So if that feels true for you, I would be very appreciative. So that's all. That's my note. So I'll hand it over to you, Lisa, and then we'll have a chance. Oh, you know what I'd love to do? Yeah, Lisa, how shall we do this? Actually, take a minute. Let's do this first. Take a minute and just write a few words about what touched you today, about our meeting in the chat. So under the chat function at the bottom of the screen in Zoom, just a sentence or two, if anything touched you in particular. We'll take a minute to review that, and then I'll hand it over to Lisa. It's interesting to read through these, isn't it? And we see the value of coming together as a group, don't we? It's like we're all doing each other's work. Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're touched by the tenderness, aren't we? By the intimacy and depth of this sharing. Yeah. Okay. Lisa.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really touched by all of you as well, and reading your comments, I just so resonate. Just building on what John said too, is if you bought your book from like a local bookstore or somewhere where it's not easy to write a review, you can go to goodreads.com, and that's a general site where people can review books, so that's another option. Also, just a reminder, we'll be meeting the first Sunday in September, 9 a.m. Pacific, and we'll be covering chapters 8, 9, and 10. And I send a few emails every month, just reminders. I'm also going to put in the chat right now the book group participant page, which is where you'll always find the dates, chapters, Zoom link, as well as the recordings. I will send out a recording within a day of this meeting of all the sessions, and the previous sessions are already there. So you can look forward to that. And let's see, I think I'm also just going to let you know that we also do have an ongoing meditative inquiry group. In fact, we have 4 groups with hosts in North America, Europe, and Australia. So we have 4 sessions. Hopefully you can find a time that works, but it's an opportunity to practice meditative inquiry. We start with a meditation of John's, a recorded one, and we practice together in dyads and then have time for group sharing. So that's a way to continue in this practice of meditative inquiry and in this exploration. So I'll put those links for more information as well as a direct sign up link.
And I'm scheduled to join the September 21st group. Is that right?
That's right. So John usually joins us like once a year in person, which is really a treat. Otherwise, it's hosted by just those of us in the community. So yeah, so September 21st, the 3rd Sunday, 11 a.m. If you sign up, you'll get all of those reminders, and yeah. All right, I think that's it. Anything else, John, your side?
No, thank you for hosting these and keeping me on track, Lisa.
And for saying yes.
Anyway, lovely to be with you. Let's unmute ourselves and say goodbye, and I'll see you guys in September.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Lisa,
Everybody.
Thank you so much.
lovely to be with all of you.
Bye, everybody.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, John.
Thank
You will.
Thank you so much, John.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Dankeschön.
Bitteschön.
How do I get out of here?
Bye.
John, Daddy,
Hi, dear.
ready to sit down.
Oh, okay.